right, fans, back with us again. And hey, we consider him an E's and B's veteran now. He is the man who never backs down from a challenge, and he carries LaGrange, Georgia on his back with over 14,000 subscribers and 1 million views in 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Lee Out Loud.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back here for the second time here, round two. Not as many butterflies this time as was last time, so
okay,
maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back. Obviously, keeping up to date with you. We got a lot of fun things to talk about today, Lee, but we're going to dive into a little bit of the sports world, and we're also going to talk about what's going down this weekend. Obviously, 4th of July. Are you ready to rock, my man?
I'm ready, buddy. Let's go.
All right, my man. First question I got for you. With the college football season on our heels, Lee, and if new listeners out there do not know, Lee is obviously a huge Alabama fan. Lee, I got to know this question from you. Who do you think is going to be in the Final Four in Indy this year?
This year, I believe Alabama will go. I mean, we lost a lot. You know, the offensive line, obviously quarterback, running back, but watching the spring game, which, you know, they're not going to give a lot, but, you know, what I've seen from Bryce Young and even Paul Bryant's grandson or great-grandson, whichever one it is, yeah. He actually looked pretty good too. So I think Alabama will be in the mix. I think Texas A&M is going to kind of surprise some people. I think they might be there toward the end. And the other, Clemson, I mean, they're in the ACC, so I mean, it's an easy conference. You know, not too many harder games, but
yeah.
But I'd have to see what Dabo's reloading on quarterback to see. I mean, he's good enough coach, good offensive minded, but they did lose a couple of big coaches and big players, so love to see what they can do. And I think the other one, I'd have to still look at Ohio State out of the Big Ten. Maybe Harbaugh, this might be his year. Maybe he could pull something out over on Ohio State. I doubt it, but.
Yeah, my question is, I mean, how many more years are they going to give him up there in Michigan? He yet has beat Ohio State.
I don't know. I think he's got one of them Oakland Raider 10-year contracts.
Like. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the money's talking up there. The play's not showing for it, in my opinion. I can agree with you. I think it's going to be a solid football season coming up. I'm very excited to see. You know, obviously the fans are going to be allowed to come back. That's going to be a cool thing. Do you ever get a chance, Lee, to go check out any Alabama games?
Yeah, every now and then. We used to every year we went to A-Day every year. We didn't go this year, so this was probably like the first year in probably five years that we didn't get to go. But we usually go to that, and it depends. It's just, you know, usually my work schedule, I'm usually getting home on Saturday evenings, you know, just in time to catch a game. So it's hard to get to one. I have to take off work to go and. Whatever, the tickets get so expensive sometimes it's better just to watch it on TV.
I got you. Sometimes you see the better stuff on TV, in my opinion, but you know, the atmosphere obviously is to die for if you're a sports fan. Well, keeping that in the same kind of realm, Lee, I got to ask you this. All my fans and listeners out there, if you do not know, Lee obviously is a truck driver, obviously a sports nut, and has his own YouTube channel. But I got to ask you this one personally, Lee. If you could be a football player, a race car driver, or a wrestler, what would you be?
I'd probably be a race car driver. I think you could do it longer than a football player. When I played football, it was offensive line, and you kind of get banged up and beat down, and, you know, so I don't think you could do that. I think you could be a race car driver longer. And wrestler, I don't think I could do that because I think one wrong fall and you're gonna be doing promos for the rest of your career.
Yeah, I get you. Absolutely. Hey, talking about your YouTube channel, Lee, obviously I'm a huge supporter. I love watching it every Tuesday and Saturday. Obviously, you drop in live feeds all the time, which is extremely fun to be in the chat. Obviously, you got a great following. But I got to ask you, buddy, what has been your most favorite video to do to this date?
The favorite video to do this date, I said in the live stream the other night, after thinking it over a little bit, I still would think it would have to be the I think it was we did like a roulette of nasty challenge. It was me, my wife, my mom, and my stepdad Damon. And going back and watching that one now, I'm crying laughing because that was Damon's kind of first experience with the cinnamon, and it kind of messed him up for almost the whole video.
Yeah. If you guys have not seen that, make sure you guys go check him out. LeeOutLoud on YouTube. Obviously, all his descriptions and everything will be clickable in the video below after we're all done here. Let me ask you this, Lee. It's now been a year. We just celebrated that this past weekend with you there on the live feed. But do you think that you would have had this big of a following that you got right now after 1 year?
No, whenever I started this whole ordeal, I had no idea that I would have anybody that would literally want to sit and watch me do anything, especially some of the stuff that we sit and do this, whatever. I mean, it's crazy, unthinkable, but I'm amazed that this many people and subscribers we gain subscribers every day that want to watch, do some of this stuff. It just blows my mind. But I do enjoy it, and I really appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches, and can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. You know, I enjoy it. Like I said earlier, I gotta say one of my favorite things here recently was our pal Drew hitting you with the baby bomb. You know, unexpected. Pretty funny on my end. You know, us personally, we've talked about some pranks in the past, maybe pulling some stuff, but nobody saw that coming. What did you think about that?
To me, it was hilarious because it's one of them, I didn't expect it. If I knew that it was coming, I would have hit him harder with that whip at the beginning of the video. But it was hilarious. I love it. And it's one of them that a lot of people, don't like to be the butt of the joke. But to me, if it makes you laugh, I don't care. To me, it was hilarious. But all I can say is I got one coming for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure he's going to be shaking in his boots as he knows it's coming, right? Well, hey, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about what's going down this weekend. Obviously, the whole world's going to be celebrating the July 4th weekend. I want to know from you, Lee. I've got one in my back pocket, but I got to know, do you have any crazy fireworks stories from the past?
I got a story. It don't involve literal fireworks, but it was at 4th of July. Here, we used to go right down the road from our house. We have like a park deal where they shoot fireworks out on the lake. So we used to go there every year, and then my stepdad and mom, they have a camper. So we, just stay in their camper and go watch the fireworks and all that. Well, we were there, and in my drink, I was drinking a drink, and a bee had gotten in my drink. And when I drunk it, it stung my face. Oh, no. And I'm not allergic to where, like I need an EpiPen, but I swell up more than anybody else. So the whole 4th of July, like my whole face, like all my lips were swole closed, my nose was swole up, everything. Like I looked like I was about to pop the whole 4th of July.
Oh man. Now, did you know it before? I mean, you knew exactly what happened once your face started swelling up that you had been stung.
Oh, when it started hurting, I didn't know what it was. And when I threw the can down, it flew out.
Oh no. So it got away. Man, crazy. Well, here, I got one crazier for you here. Several years ago, and I'll keep the names undisclosed here so nobody gets in trouble. But me and a cousin and a friend, where I'm from, they used to do a thing called the Midnight Parade every July 3rd at midnight downtown. Yeah. And it was a big festival. A lot of people came from the whole towns around, all that good stuff. But obviously, it brings traffic. And there's only one way into this place, to get to where you want to go sit and stuff like that. And it was 3 lanes backed up, and I was riding in the back, cousin driving, and his friend in the passenger seat. We've been drinking a little bit, some Jägermeister. Obviously, bad things come out with Jägermeister. We all know this, but obviously there was a lot of commotion and things going on. People walking on the street. Like I said, we're bumper to bumper in traffic trying to get to where we're going, and the guys up front just came up with a silly idea, and they started lighting bottle rockets and dropping them out of the car. And these bottle rockets would, underneath people's car, and boom, scare the crap out of people, but nobody could figure out where it was coming
Where
from.
they're coming from, yeah.
Well, after a few minutes of this madness and, finally some people noticing what was going on in other cars, we ventured to make our left-hand turn and go to our parking spot when we got pulled over. Well, needless to know, the person that was driving obviously had been drinking as well, didn't have his license, and neither did the passenger. Well, we got pulled over. They asked those two gentlemen to get out, and I stayed in the back. Being the oldest person with these guys, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I noticed out of the corner of my eye, they were kind of talking to the cop, and after a few minutes of discussion, here they come back to the car. The guys switched spots and got in the car. Well, the cop actually let these guys let us go, not even knowing that we were the ones, letting the fireworks and stuff off. They were just guessing. But what was funny to me was we were in a bright yellow car, and probably the only bright yellow car down there at the time. One of those moments where I was really nervous, wasn't sure what was going to happen. But on the other hand, it was a little bit of fun for the 4th of July.
Really scary, yeah.
So pretty crazy stuff. What's your favorite thing about 4th of July besides the fireworks, obviously?
Any time to get all the family together. Usually, especially, around these times here, it's hard to get everybody together in one place at one time. So usually when you have big holidays and stuff like that, everybody's able to either get off or make plans. So it gets everybody back together. And it's one thing I love family. That's one big thing about it.
Absolutely. Nothing better than family time. I think that's why we're two of a kind, in my words. Hey, let's switch right back to racing here. I'll keep you just for a couple more, and then I'll let you get on the road here. But I got to know this, Lee. Me and you talk a lot of racing back and forth on the text and stuff. Who are you picking to win it all this year?
Well, me, my dad, and a coworker, we pick every week on the race. So it's kind of another thing to keep you involved, and keep you rooting. We do 3 because anything happens, somebody wreck or whatever. So we pick every week, and I think I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Larson to win it all.
He's been hot. That's right.
He's been hot. I've been playing a hot hand because I think I've won out of us 3 picking. I've won 14 times in a row.
Oh man, that's a roll, bro.
Well, we picked 3, so I got good odds, and whoever wins picks first. So I've been picking Larson first a lot here lately, and he's been paying out. And this week we picked twice, because they raced 2 races at Pocono. And the first day I picked for the first race, I picked Larson, Bowman, and Byron. So I won that one, and then yesterday. Yeah, and yesterday I picked Larson, Kyle Busch, and Byron. So
man, oh man. Well, here recently, obviously, if you've had Larson in any mix, he's definitely been the guy to be watching out for. I got to ask you this for a personal question here on the racing side. As you know, here we cover all the short track stuff as much as possible as I can. But I want to know, have you ever seen a figure 8 race?
I have never seen a figure 8 race. I listened to the podcast where you had the figure 8 race driver on recently, and hearing it from his aspect, it's like that would be wild. The stuff the safety stuff you have to go through just racing in general, and now you have to go through an intersection where you got other cars crossing.
Yes, you got to keep your head on a swivel at all times. Yeah. There's a lot into it. Some people just say, well, it's more like demolition. It's really not. You got to make sure the rhythm's right, your timing is right, and also make sure everybody else around you is kind of doing the same thing. Obviously, it's almost tougher to control.
It's almost a disadvantage to be in the lead.
It absolutely it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. Unless you got a small field where you're not going to have as many interactions in the crossover. Yeah, being in the lead isn't an advantage in figure 8. That's for sure. Well, hopefully sometime soon you'll get a chance to check that out. I just got one more for you, Lee, before I let you go, buddy. When it's all said and done, what does the Lee Out Loud future hold?
Right now the sky's the limit. I mean, we've got ideas, and bringing John over and him doing. I mean, he's coming up with ideas, and more people I got helping, and some people give me ideas and don't want to be in the videos, but I mean, we got plenty of content to come from. We're nowhere near at the end of the realm, so stay tuned, and the sky's the limit.
Awesome. Well, folks, one last thing before I turn it over to Lee. We are doing a 4th of July E's and B's giveaway, Lee. And what I want to do is I want to challenge all my listeners and fans out there. If you can get my YouTube to 1,000 subscriptions, I'm going to let Lee pick out any random person with the best comment, and they will get a huge E's and B's prize pack from us. How does that sound, Lee?
That sounds amazing.
Awesome. Well, man, it's been an honor and pleasure having you on. But before I let you go, like I always do with all my interviewees, I'm going to turn the table over to you, buddy, and let my fans know where they can find you at. And do you got anything for old Eddie B?
All right. All the fans, you can find me on YouTube, LeeOutLoud, all one word. We do anything under the sun, any challenge, hot, spicy, pain, whatever you want to see. Comment below any challenge you want to see. If you want to send me something that you make the hottest stuff, or whatever, the sour stuff, or whatever you can think of, you want to send it to, I have a P.O. box that you can send it to, and we'll shout you out. We'll do it on camera. And that's about the best place to find me. And you comment back, or you comment to me. I always try to comment back. It might take a little bit sometimes, but I always try to respond back to you and let you know if the challenge we can do or anything like that.
Well, Lee, like I said, man, it's been so much fun. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to our boy from Auburn, John. We hear you. We see you, buddy. Also, shout out to our other boy, Drew. Boy, you got it coming. I hate to be you. But like I said, folks, it's been an honor and a pleasure having the king of LaGrange, Georgia, Lee Out Loud.
It's been awesome, bud.